Bit rate looks good. Just gonna wait for everybody to join. Gotta send the links out. Pardon me, you'll see my eyes moving around my monitors. Gonna look a little bit crazy for a second, but that's just a part of the process here. Give me a moment as I do a couple of things here, and we'll be starting in just a second. This might be one of the most important sessions you'll ever watch, just like the last one and the one before that, putting that out there. You're following along the different market narratives and the unified market narrative, you will start noticing patterns and resemblances. Just gonna repost this. Hopefully that worked. And sharing with communities. Feel free to reshare with any of your fellow traders. What I'm doing right now. The market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. The wisest words ever spoken. Okay, so something is up here. Yeah, all good. IT, I just want to make sure you're still there.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just double checking. Awesome.
Yeah, I muted myself.
Right. Right, cool. I'll get going and pass you over the mic in just a moment. Just gonna recap a couple of things. Uh, we had the London session this morning with Shiv Priya Das, SP Das. Anyone who understands Hindu Indian culture will relate to that. Pretty cool. Um, so London session, unified market narrative was updated. It's looking a lot better. It's working a lot faster. Still making a few adjustments, and we'll be adding ITs to that shortly after this session, followed by the 11 a.m. SP-DOS New York Part 2. And then, of course, we're back again for Sydney, Tokyo thereafter, which is the same day here at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I've posted the different time zones on X on the ForexLens account, so you can see that. I'll probably pin it at some point. I just want to make sure that everyone's able to read the current pin post. Really important, especially if you're a holder or considering being a holder at one point. Just want to make sure that everything's transparent. Um, yeah, so just gonna pass the mic over to IT. He's got an exciting session lined up for you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to the New York session. I hope you're doing great as I am. Let me share my screen quickly. And today I'm actually going to add the what I requested, I think yesterday, the ability to share some music in the background whilst we're doing the session. Now, you're going to feel different. So embrace yourself for something different today. Just give me 1 second and then I'll get that lining up. I learned this some time ago that when you're dealing with the mind, you need to understand how it works. And there was a funny analogy attached to it. It goes this way. When you buy a car, okay, first of all, you test drive it, but most importantly, You understand how the car works. You understand how to drive a car before you buy a car. But human beings, we use our minds, but we don't understand how the mind works. And it's one of the greatest tools that you ever have, right? The mind is your greatest tool, your greatest asset. So you need to understand how it works. If you don't understand how your mind works, then I don't know what you're doing as a human being because that's what you use in your everyday life. So why don't you spend some time to understand how your mind works? And most people don't, right? So with me, I've spent quite a lot of time to understand how it works. And one of the way it works is if you want to learn, you need to switch from being your normal average lifestyle to a relaxed mode. You can't learn when your mind is so always busy. You need to learn when your mind is relaxed. One way to relax your mind is to listen to music. Once you're listening to music, automatically your brain waves drops down, and then you begin to relax. And that helps you to learn faster. Okay. So that's why I want to bring in the music so that you will have a brainwave that will be able to absorb the information that I'm going to be giving. Okay, so I'm gonna share just a little bit of the music that I like in the background so that everybody can tune in into the learning mode. And Igor, if it's too loud, you let me know so that I can reduce the volume.
Will do.
First of all, can you hear it?
Yeah, can hear it. Sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. So let's get on with it. I think yesterday we talked about the dollar index potentially going down to 107.15, and I still think that would be the case. Um, the candle did not close below the down candle. However, um, on the lower time frame, it did actually go uh, below the down candle on the H4. Igor, let me know if it's okay. I can continue.
Just takes a little bit of time. I think it's good.
Okay, I'll adjust it over here.
Maybe it's just for me. I'm wearing noise canceling headphones, but it's a little maybe a little bit over your voice, but I think it's better now. Some of the high pitches are kind of coming through.
Okay, should be okay going forward. I've actually turned it down more.
Awesome.
Okay, so on the lower time frame, price actually went below the down candle, which is this one here. That was the most important one. That was the last down candle prior to all that move up, and they did close below it. So what happened yesterday in the afternoon was all just a pullback into this candle here. ICT calls it the breaker. So it was just a pullback to the breaker, and then price will resume going lower. So today I'm expecting lower prices on the dollar index. Now, um, since we are expecting lower prices, that means the foreign currencies will be actually going higher, right? But if you remember yesterday, I said something very important that if you are going to buy, focus on either the New Zealand dollar or the Aussie dollar. Because if you study the crosses, most of the time the crosses will tell you which of the majors that price is going to move or institutions are going to move, right? So if we look at Aussie, okay, yesterday the drop was just a pullback. and then we've resumed going higher. And if you look at euro, nothing has happened yet. And that was the reason why I was saying, yes, they will go up, but if you want the best one, then focus on the Aussie and the New Zealand. Why? Because the Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand, the pound Aussie and the pound New Zealand, they are going down for the time being. And if it's going down, sometimes it would mean, not sometimes, it means that the one going down is a strong pair right now. So if you look at the New Zealand, that is a strong pair, right? If you look at Aussie, okay, that is the strong pair. That is why that is going down. Okay. So once you understand that, then trading the majors, you should be focusing on the strong ones. And that is the Aussie. So yesterday when price pulled back, if you understood all that I was saying, that was an opportunity for a buy. Okay. And then the New Zealand, that was also an opportunity for a buy. It only retraced into the down candle and then price has resumed going higher. And as we speak right now, it has retraced to this down candle, so we should expect another continuation to the upside, right? So if you are, a currency trader, then this will be an opportunity for you to be in a trade for price to go higher on the New Zealand and the Aussie pair. Okay, so we are expecting the levels that I gave yesterday on New Zealand, and I can go back through it again if they're going to show themselves. Okay, so yesterday I mentioned we will be reaching for 0.5712, 0.5742. Those are the upside objectives, and I still stand with that. That's where price is going to reach for. So where we are now, our mental stop loss currently is going to be this down candle, this big down candle. The movement down was, again, institutions buying, right? And in future, I'll explain why this happened here. It doesn't often happen, but when it's happening and you understand it, then you can take opportunity. You can take an advantage of it. And I'll explain why it happens like that. Not all the time, because when we are breaking above a weekly high, especially when they've manipulated price to the downside first, sometimes it will happen. And the logic behind it, I'll explain it once our portal is open, so that it will be for our private members and our token holders to take advantage of that. So currently our mental stop loss is going to be here. As long as we are above, as long as we are above 0.5631, we are expecting price to reach for the 0.5712 level and 0.57421 level. Okay, so we are looking for higher prices. On Aussie, the same thing, but I didn't like Aussie. And the reason why I didn't like Aussie, even though I like Aussie and New Zealand, if I was to actually choose, I prefer the New Zealand pairs, right? And that's because of this pair. Aussie New Zealand is the dark horse. It's used to determine between the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, which one is strong and which one is weak. And since it was coming into a pullback after taking out a previous week high, that is why I opted for the New Zealand, right? So Australian dollar will also go up. The only problem is the projection levels, they've actually reached them already. So if I project them to the upside, they went for the 618 and we are yet to get to the 2. So if you like to trade the Aussie, then by all means, you're targeting for the time being 0.6312 level, right? So that would be basically where you're expecting Aussie to reach for now. But it doesn't mean once we get here, price will go lower. It will continue going up, just that level will be very significant and maybe a pullback will happen. Okay, so ideally, this is the one to be in. That's my favorite, or that's my choice. Okay, it doesn't mean the pound and the euro will not go up. They will, but they are going to be held, and then they will move these pairs, the crosses. Okay, so maybe on Friday, if we get a continuation to the downside, or even tomorrow, if we get any news, then they will take these ones up to catch up with what the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar is doing. Once I see it again, I will let you all know, and you can take advantage of it as well. Yeah, I think what is happening right now here is what I said I'll explain, because when it's about to break and go higher, sometimes it will pause in here before breaking, or it will just break. Okay, and we will learn more about that in future. So New Zealand dollar is the one to be in. If you want Australian, by all means do so, but make sure you're taking some profit at the 0.6314414 level. Okay. And then of course the cross pair that I mentioned, New Zealand CAD, is still going up. You can see the type of candle that printed here yesterday is similar to what I think the pound and the euro might do in here. Okay, might do in here. There's something happening in here, but like I said, I will talk about it in the portal once it's open. I think we are opening the portal up by the end of this week. So if you are not part of ForexLens, you should be. Get your tokens or get in as soon as possible so that you can rock and roll with us. Moving forward, let's look at gold. So yesterday I talked about gold, that I was interested in buying, but if you did miss this move here, then wait for them to come back down and attack this low. And I explained why, right? So if you were here yesterday, you will understand why this happens. The explanation was, when you measure a range like this, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, the level price is going to reverse from, let's say it's going to reverse here, okay? It's very precise. There is not going to be any coincidence. It's very precise that this is the exact level it wants to reverse from. So when it does not get there and price moves away, that move most of the time is manipulation. They're trying to get people to get in so that they can come back and take them out. So that's what happened here. So when price actually went higher and it was coming back down, it's actually going to come and stop anyone that went in early. So if you bought early and you are the type that want to have a tight stop loss, then this will come back and then wipe you out. And then most of the time, this is where, if you understand how investors or institutions trade in the market, you really have to open your eyes, because this move down is so aggressive in such a way that everybody and their grandmother would think that price will continue going down. If you don't understand what is happening, you will think price is going down because it's so aggressive, right? Now, when that happens, it brings fear to traders. It brings fear because anyone that is not in long at this time, they wouldn't want to buy, because this whole move to the downside is scary. If you are a trader and you see this move to the downside, I don't think buying will actually come into your mind. You wouldn't want to buy it. And the reason why you wouldn't want to buy it is because this move to the downside is a big down candle, and in your mind, that's what is going to paint. It's going to paint, okay, an idea, an emotion in your mind that price is going down, and you'll be scared to buy it. And that's the whole idea behind how, quote unquote, investors or institutions, that's how they trade. They want to put some idea in your mind. ICT calls it priming. Okay, they prime you to think something and then the opposite is actually happening. So the down movement here was only to scare buyers out of the market and also to trip those that wanted to go short. Because if you were thinking of going short here, now you're dead. And then all those buyers that actually got in earlier, they are also dead. So both sides of the market are now dead. And then the actual move will happen. Right? So you need to understand the dynamics of how the market looks like, which is I talked about this low to this high. That is what is important, not what is happening here. And what is happening here is just how they will pick more liquidity to take price higher. And if you understand it, then yes, they will manipulate it before going up. Any move, if it's institutional based, and this is something that, again, if you're a trader, you need to understand and take it on board. Any move that is going to be institutional based will have manipulation. End of story, no debating, because the vast amount of money that they have in order to get a position in the market will have to come with manipulation. Okay, listen to this closely. Because if you can understand just this concept, then the way you look at the market will change. Because the market, yes, it's open for everybody to trade, but you need to understand who the players are. Any move that will move in terms of big move that you're expecting it to do, whatever you're expecting the market to do, whether to go up or down, is going to be done by the big players. In order for them to take a position, to take price higher or lower, because of the vast amount of money that they have, no one is going to take the other side of their position, because trading is not just hitting a button and then you see candlesticks and then hit a button and it goes in your favor. No, there are actually some people behind it that put money. Okay, they inject money in the market. Okay, they inject money in the market, physical money. Okay, not fake money, not demo money. They actually put money that you and I, we spend on our day to day. They have a lot of it, and then they put it in the market to trade. And then it's so big that when they are coming in, they need someone to be on the other side, because trading it's a two-way affair. There's a buyer and there's a seller. So when someone is buying, someone is actually selling to them, because there can't be a trade without these two components. There can't be a trade without a buyer or seller. There has to be an agreement, okay, between a buyer and a seller. So for example, if I own an iPhone and I want to sell the iPhone without a buyer, I'm going to have the iPhone in my hands forever. No one is going to buy it. Hence, I need a buyer to be able to buy my iPhone. It's the same thing in the market. When someone is buying, there has to be a seller. And when someone is selling, there has to be a buyer. It's two ways. So if you understand that, if institutions are going to come into the market, right, then if they are having 10 billion to buy, they need 10 billion sellers. It's simple logic. And they need 10 million sellers. There can't be 10 million buys and then no one is selling. So who is going to be on the other side? That is why the manipulation will happen. Because when the manipulation is happening, that is when they are actually getting their position filled. And this is trading 101. Those that will be in the portal, I'll go into more details about this. It's trading 101. You need to understand it, that buyers and sellers are the players in the market. And since institutions have more money than everyone, they need the opposite side of their trade. And before that will happen, that is why manipulation happens. So before any move, whether up or down, will happen in the market, there needs to be manipulation. Hence, this is happening. Hence, this is happening. They move down before they move up. They move up before they move down. It's always going to happen. You just need to understand where it's going to happen and how they're going to do it. And then that's it. It's game over. Okay. So that's what we'll be actually learning in the portal in future so that you'll be able to understand when the big players come into the market so you can take advantage of it. So the long story short of this trade is when this dropped down, I understood that this was just coming down to take out anyone that was what? Bullish. And then they got killed. And I bought it there. The price is going to the exact level that I talked about yesterday, which is 2681.3. Okay, so that's where price is going for now. And once we get there, depending on how they will maneuver above the high, then we will actually look at it again. So that's a previous week high. That is where liquidity is going to be. That is where they are going to take price. Okay, so once we get above it, then we will decide what they are going to do next. Crude oil, I think similar. Yesterday, I mentioned that price is likely going to reach for this, we call it volume imbalance. There's absence of candles in here, so it's called volume imbalance. We're expecting price to dip into that, and I still stand with that idea that price is meant to go there. This down candle yesterday, it's a reaccumulation. Actually traded back to this level, this last down candle with a fair value gap. This is where we would be wrong. Okay, so if we breach this low, then that's our mental stop loss. That's where we'll be wrong. So we're expecting them to reach for the 75.08 level. Okay, so expect price to reach for 75.08 level. Okay, so that's that for our currency market and gold and oil. Now, if there is anything that anyone wants me to look whilst we are here, then you can let me know and then I'll look at it for you in terms of the currencies. So we are going to now switch on to the crypto market. Mr. Igor, how is the sound? How's the
I
music?
think it's good. Maybe just a little bit lower.
Okay, it's still loud?
I got a couple of chats in asking if we could lower it just a bit. I think
Okay,
some people are also wearing noise canceling headphones, and yeah, it's just higher pitches. That's all.
okay. I've turned it down, so it should be.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
All right, cool. Okay, so let's go into the crypto market. Let's start with Solana. So Solana, yesterday we only reached one of the targets, which was 221.09. We nearly got to the second one, which was 223.67, and it missed it by a few pips or a few points. Okay, now I still think we should go higher, unless we go through this down candle, then that would change. But as it stands, we are still aiming for that level. So 223.67, that still stands as an upside objective. Now, maybe what I was saying about Bitcoin, right, that I don't think we're supposed to be going higher. I think we might come back down because I was looking at the futures and the futures has dipped into the fair value gap. And you can see that it's rejecting so far. The spot hasn't traded into that yet, but I think it doesn't need to. Just need to touch it and then reject. So we might be seeing a pullback. Now, for the time being, I'll consider it as a pullback because of how yesterday closed above the previous week high. this pattern is going to be your, I don't know how to put it, but this pattern here is your golden, I don't know, there's a word for it. It's your holy grail. Okay, this pattern here, that's your holy grail. If you can understand this pattern, everything that I teach or everything that I do is involved, revolves around this pattern. And you can see that here. There is a low, which is this one here. There is a high, which is this one there. There is a low, which is this one. And there's a high, which is that one. Okay, that is a sign of price going up or a reversal. Now, there is also the same thing reversed when price is going lower. There's a high, and there's a low. And that is this high, this low, this low. So we have the same thing on the upside. That is why I don't think we're supposed to be going up, because the same thing that has happened on the downside, we have the same thing on the upside. So price right now, as it stands, can trade back down and stay inside a consolidation, or it's going to come down here and then go higher. Okay, so as it stands, that's what I'm seeing. The nature of how price went above this high confirmed to me this price action or this pattern, right? Now, when that happens, most of the time, depending on where it's happening, it's a bullish sign. That's what has happened on the, if you go to New Zealand, that's the pattern that I was seeing here. So if you go into the daily, it's the same thing. We have a low, we have a high, we have a low, and then we have a high. That's the bullish pattern. But because this is happening at the level where price has been dropping for a long time, then it's a sign of bullishness. However, where this is happening is not, it's not the same. Had this pattern happen somewhere down here, then this will be a sign of bullishness. So Solana is similar, right? This is a low, this is a high, but that did not happen there. That's the one that I was talking about. I wanted to see a run below this low before we go up. But there is two types of the, I'll say, how smart money or institutions comes into the market. Sometimes they will not come for the low to create this pattern. They will just hang in here and then go higher. I personally don't subscribe to this. I don't like it. And the reason why I don't like it is because this always leaves room for them to come back down and then create that pattern to go higher. That's why I don't personally like this. So I want to see, for example, the gold trade, right? Where it came back down and then went higher. That's always going to be sometimes the case, where price will, instead of going, so if you look at gold, you can say this high, this low, and then it went up, right? It did not take out a low and then go higher, but now you can see the pattern clearly. This is the low, this is the high, this is the low, and then price went up. So this creates a buy, okay? But it depends on where it's happening. So where Bitcoin, this pattern has happened, yes, it's a bullish pattern, but the location is wrong, because you also have a sell pattern right facing the bullish pattern. So that creates what we call a consolidation market. And that creates a consolidation market. So we can either stay inside this range for some time, or depending on what big money wants to do, they might take it down, which is what I think might happen. They might take it down to attack that monthly low, and that will then create the pattern for you, which is this low, this high, and then we break it. And if this happens, boy, Bitcoin is going to move. Okay, because if they can take all this move down, that whole move down will be a buy. as you've learned from here already, right? This whole move down is going to be a buy, and then we can project that to the upside and then aim for some levels, right? We can still project this, but if they can do it one more time, then it's really, 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 really good. Okay. So with Bitcoin, yes, it's gonna continue going up, but just relax. It's not time yet. Okay. So we might see a pullback into this level, this fair value gap here. Once we get there, it will determine once we get there. I don't want to give promises that when the kite says it's gonna go higher, because I so suspect that monthly low. Okay. So yeah, let's see what Bitcoin will do. And as it's doing that, maybe Solana might come in here and then also go higher. We're still aiming for 26463. That's still the upside objective. But if Bitcoin does what I'm thinking, they might take Solana down and then go higher. Okay. So just have your high time frame mental stop loss in your mind, so that once that is breached, that's when the upside objectives that I'm talking about, that's when it's no more valid. So Solana, downside mental stop loss is here, and we don't want them to breach this down, this down candle. Okay. Let's look at AI 16Z. Yesterday, we did get the confirmation that I was looking for, which is closing above this down candle, right? So this, in my opinion, is just a pullback on the H4. It's currently at a level that should be a buy. This down candle here. I do not want to see them trade through it. They might, if it does go below, it will just be a run on stop. Again, I've just taught you something, right? There's that bullish pattern in here. There's a low, there's a high, there's a low, and there's a high. That's your bullish pattern. So this might be a pullback, and then price will resume going up. Now, when we have such pattern and you see a pullback, the best thing to do is just pull the Fibonacci. If you don't have these levels, you can create them yourself. Just highlight 50%, 0.618, 0.705, and then 0.79. Those are your fib level. And the most important levels is the 618 to the 79 retracement level. That is your golden area, and you want to buy when price gets there. So even though I think they shouldn't go through this gap and this down candle, it can go all the way to still respecting this down candle, because the down candle low is all the way down here, and we don't want them to breach that. So it's either they respect 618 here, and you can go to the lower time frame to kind of look if it will do it. And from my opinion, I don't think it will, because we have a buying going in here. I don't think it should be trading down, right? Our upside objective still remains 2.50754. Okay, that's still our upside objective. So this movement down is a pullback, and you want to get yourself in to expand going higher. Now, one of the best patterns, okay, like I said, I like looking at the market based on how smart money trade. I don't trade ideas. I trade how smart institutions trade. One of the best patterns that I've seen in the market is whenever they close above a down candle and then the very next candle pulls back. Okay, it's one of the strongest patterns that you trade. Unless you're doing it at the wrong location, then this will just collapse and then trade through it if you're doing it at the wrong location. But if you're doing it at the right location, then this move back down will just be a pullback to where they just bought, and then price will explode to the upside. And you can go through price and then see examples of it here as an example. They close above the down candle, the next one trades back down to it, and then explosion to the upside. It's one of the, I think, the strongest pattern you ever trade. Right. So whenever you see a candle close above the previous candle like this, and you see the very next candle trading down, if it's at the right location, now that will be basically what you will learn to understand the locations. Once you understand where it's happening, then this move down is another buy, and then the next candle will shoot up. And this candle has got a name. They are buying more with that candle. So you can buy with them and then price will go up. Okay. And if you want to again understand how the buying is happening, how aggressive is it to the downside? Because the more aggressive it is, the more smart money is involved in it. Remember, smart money will always come in like an elephant in the room. If this was going down in a small candle type, then that's not smart money or institutions. But if it's coming down with big candles, then you know the whale or the elephant is right in there. Okay, so this is basically the elephant now dipping its head back into the buy that they just did. Yeah, and then they will buy it one more time. So expect this to go up one more time. Okay. Once we lose this down candle, if they can close below it, then that will create a different pattern. And if you can open your eyes, you'll see that it will create this pattern. That means all this move to the upside is a sell, but I don't see that in here. This move to the upside does not equate to how the big players sell, okay? Because there's so many things going on in here. So I think this is the buy, and then it will resume going higher. So that is AI. This project, I think, is something that if you can get yourself in, it's going to be, I don't know, the word is important. AI stuff is everywhere right now. So if you want to get yourself on a cryptocurrency or a crypto token, anything to do with AI is something that will be bullish. Because now everything is AI. Okay, even the next, I don't know, food that we are going to do will be manufactured by AI. So AI will be on top of the game. So this project will be interesting. So that's that. Let's go and look at our favorite one, Tatsuo. And it's something interesting developing on that. So let's have a look. Looking at Tatsuo, I talked about something. Let me see how I can change the time frames. If I can change the time frames. I can change the time frame, so let's go back. Okay. Now, I talked about this level here. That was the last time institutions came in. Okay, this whole move to the upside. How do we know that? The gap, the big move with the gap. And then when they came down, I said that they did not come in. Now, why did I say that? Look at how price went higher. Again, you're learning quite a lot in here within this short period of time. This is not how investors buy. This is not the type of candle that when they come in, you are going to see. They came back down, same area, and then this happened. And I think yesterday I said that because they came in here, now our mental stop loss is going to be below this low. We do not want to see them come below this. Why? Because it created another gap in here. Okay, and that gap it's a sign that they did come in. Pay attention to this candle and compare it to these candles. Okay. Again, trading 101, you're going to learn how to identify these candles on your chart. These type of candles. I call it exciting candles, or yeah, you can give it any name, but it's abnormal candles. When you see the time frame, the way to identify them is when you see any time frame, that candle is abnormal on that time frame. What do I mean abnormal? The size of every candle, it's kind of an average, but that particular candle or the candles will be different. Okay, so this is different from the average type of candle you see on this chart. And plus, where it's happening. So where it was happening is a sign that someone with big money came in here. And then I said that is our mental stop losses. Yesterday, that was a pullback. And then we had this big move again. And then I said they've created another gap. So again, they've stepped in again. And then price comes back in there. Now, if you are learning, right, what is actually happening? These gaps are where they most of the time come back and then they buy it again. So here, once it was created, it comes back down and then it goes up. It comes back down and then it goes up, right? And they've created another one, which we have one here. And then we have another one potentially being created there. It means this is no brainer, right? This is what everyone and your grandmother will see. Okay? And this is the ones that I don't like traders getting in. When this one prints, you are too late. Okay, when these ones, massive ones print, you are too late. You've missed the whole party. Okay, but you just have to wait for them to create. When they go up like this, wait for them to create another down candle, which is a sign of them reaccumulating. Anytime they are buying, once they shoot up, the buying is done. You've missed it. So wait for them to buy again, and the buy will happen with a down candle, right? And then once that down candle closes, let them go back above it. Once they go back above it, that's a sign they've completed the buy. Now you have an area where you can place your mental stop loss, or you have an area where you can place your liquidation level, and then price will resume going up. And I think you've reached for the level that I actually gave the last time, which was this high here. And if you look at it from the weekly perspective, remember when we started, I was talking about the down candle on the weekly, if they can go back above it. Okay. Now they've gone back above that weekly down candle. So what does that mean? It means that this whole move, okay, if you've been following, I said that this whole move is a buy. So we can project it to the upside and basically target those upside objectives, right? So the upside objective that I gave, I think if you basically watch Twitter feed, you see them. I've not been using this platform. The other platform, I'm having issue with it. That's why I'm using this for today. But the levels was based on the other platform. But what I'm seeing right now is if I was to project this to the upside levels would be here, which is 0.585. Then let me activate the 2. Okay. Okay. So the 2 will be 0.704 level. All right, so that will be the upside objective as it stands once they've gone above this. Now, Ideally, we want them to close. Okay, we want price to close above it. Now, if the weekly does not close, remember the daily is enough. So if the daily can close above this, so I'll switch back to the daily. Okay, the daily, this is currently the daily candle. If the daily can close above it, let me take the flip off. Okay, this is the level on the weekly. That weekly down candle started from here. So if the daily can close above it, now this will create a potential gap, a formation of a gap, which is a sign again that big whales or an elephant has come in, right? So the next candle can open, just drop down a little bit and then shoot up, and that will create the gap. And that will be the sign that will or the elephant actually has stepped in. They have stepped in, but we need them to confirm. Okay, so let them hold price above this weekly high on a daily basis. It doesn't need to be on a daily, it can be on a weekly, but if it starts on a daily, it's an early bird entry. When they close above it on a daily, it means that price will definitely go up. So we can actually start looking for the entry to continue going up. But if it doesn't, it's no problem. The week needs to close. It's actually the week that we want it to close. But if the daily closes above it, then we have a confirmation on the lower time frame, because everything starts from the lower time frame and then it scales up to the higher time frame. So if they can close above it on a daily, then the week will follow. Okay, and you can expect higher prices. So again, all those that have been around since the 1st of January, if you are not in this, I think you are a bit too late. Okay, you always want to buy when it's in a phase of accumulation. So all those down movement when we started from 1st of January, okay, that was when they were actually buying, right? That's when they were actually buying. Now, if you did not get in, you're too late. And that's one of the one of the biggest problem for traders. They are always scared to buy when price is going down. And one of the biggest lesson that Larry Williams, ICT's mentor, if I can say that, gave in his book. He wrote a book called How I Became a Millionaire, or yeah, How I Became a Millionaire Trading Commodities. You can search for that book. An awesome book that every trader should have. And in that book, at the end of the book, he gave an advice. He said that one of the best advice that he can ever give any trader is to buy in down days, or to buy when the market is going down. It does not mean go and buy here. All right. What I'm trying to explain here, what I'm trying to teach you here, that's the understanding that you need to get. You need to understand where it's in accumulation phase and when they are buying again. So the advice was to buy in down days. Don't buy when it's going up. When you buy when it's going up, you're actually doing the opposite of what smart money does. Okay, so you want to buy in down days. And these down days, when we were doing the live sessions, that's what I was hinting at. Because if you don't buy when it's here, when it goes up, you're too late. You'll be buying at the higher prices. And imagine, right? You go to their shop and they are selling an iPhone for, let's say, $100, right? And you said, no, 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 I don't want to buy it. And then the iPhone goes to $300, and that's when you want to buy it. Logically, it doesn't make sense, because when it's at $100, that's cheap. Okay, so when price is going down in a down movement, that's when price is cheap. That's when you need to buy. So that's what the advice was. When price is going down, then you buy it, because that's when it's cheap. When it's going up, it's inflated price. You don't want to buy inflated price. I don't know why traders, right? They can go to the market and look for discount for stuff, but when it comes to the market, they don't want discount. They want to buy expensive prices. when price is going up, you are buying expensive prices. Okay. But when it's going down, you are buying cheaper prices. Okay. So basically, that's why I was hinting at buying that tool. Now, if you did not get in, too late. Not too late, but for the time being, you're late. So let's wait for them to buy again on the higher time frame. You have to wait for them to show you that they are buying again. And when it's happening, I'm gonna say it. And then if you don't get in, again, you'll be too late. Okay, so that's the tool for you. Let's go back to normal currencies. And I think Ethereum. Let's do Ethereum. Right, so with Ethereum, I still have the same bias, and now today I've taught you the pattern, right, the selling pattern. This is why I was saying I'm not convinced that Ethereum is going to go up yet, because there is a selling pattern in here on the higher time frame, and for the time being, put bullishness to the sidelines, right? Even though I was expecting them to move from here and then go lower, that didn't happen. It doesn't mean it's not going to. It just means it's trying to reach for a different level to do it. And that was the level. It didn't actually reach it. It doesn't have to, because I am not expecting people to be bullish on this right now. I'm not expecting traders to be bullish on this right now. Ideally, you want to be looking for a sell to come down or sit on your hands and wait, because it's not ready to go up yet, right? So Ethereum, I'm expecting price to come back down. Now, coming down, it can come all the way down here, or it can trade inside this, because the buying and the selling have actually just talked about it. They have two ways to buy. This is one way. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's one way they buy, or 1, 2, 3, which is taking out the loan. That's the two ways that smart money or institutions will buy. I don't subscribe to this one, and the reason is just based on experience. Um, I've always, in a way, not seen it as a buy for me. It depends on how you've trained your subconscious to see price. And based on my training, I've always trained my eyes to see this one. Okay, so when it's going up like this, I don't want to get myself involved. Okay, so it can come here and then go higher, or it can come down and then create, or it might even do it here and then create it. And that's when I'll be interested in buying price to go up. Okay, so Ethereum, I don't think is ready to go higher yet for the time being. So if you are bullish, hold on your peace. Hold on. Catch your breath first, and then let's see what they're going to do. Again, it's too early in the year to even think of buying for long term. Okay, so let's see what they're going to do. Even with this down candle, let's see whether they're going to hold it and then send it here and then send it lower. The signs of it will be on the lower time frame, and I've not seen it. Right? I've not seen any signs of the big players coming in, whether to buy or to sell. I don't see any sign. The last time they bought was here, and price shot up. This is not any institutions doing anything. It could be profit taken from all that movement that has happened. So just sit on your hands and wait patiently. I think I've covered. Let's look at hype, because I think I mentioned hype is also a good project. It's still the same unless we go up here. I'm still for the downside. Okay, you can see how price is struggling. Now, if you are bullish, this will not be good for you. Why? Because you're going to be always, your emotion is going to be like this. At some point, it's going up and you're happy, and then it comes down and you're sad. It goes up, you're happy, and then it comes down, you're sad. That is why I have been saying it's not ready to go up yet. Because if it was going to go up, this will shoot up big candles. Okay. Again, learn how institutions trade. It's very, very simple. They are going to show their hands by manipulating price first, and then it will start shooting up. They've not manipulated it yet. As far as I'm seeing, there's been no manipulation yet, hence it's not going to go up. So I want to see a big move to scare everyone out of it. Then you buy. Okay, so take gold example as the gold trade that I just showed you. Take it as an example. See them scaring everyone. Okay, and I like the quote that one of our uh, posts on ForexLens. If you go to ForexLens and you see um, there's a post that came out, I think 2 or 3 days ago, or even yesterday. It's by one of the famous traders. Is it George Soros or something like that? He said that be greedy when people are fearful. Okay, so when it's being dropped aggressively, that's when people are fearful. Then you become greedy.
That's
And
Warren Buffett, by the way. Pardon me.
okay, Warren Buffett, thank you. Warren Buffett said, be greedy when people are fearful, and then be fearful when people are greedy. They tell you exactly how they're trading. Why? Because fear drives price down, greed drives price up. So when it's being driven up, okay, that is smart money selling. So you want to be fearful when they are being greedy. So you sell. And then when they are being fearful, then be greedy. Buy it. Okay. So let's see the greed. I'm sorry, let's see the fear, and then we will be greedy and then we buy. Right. So on the lower time frame, there's no signs of smart money or institutions actually stepping in. Oops. This is not how they trade. There's no signs of them being in the market right now. So just sit on your hands patiently and wait. Initially, I was expecting them to drive this all the way down to that level, and that would be the fear. And then we buy it. But for some reason, they decided to play with emotions, and now anyone that is in a buy, they don't know what to do. And then if you're in a sell, you don't know what to do, right? Because they trap your mindset. And that's one of the ways to kill traders. You trap their mindset when you don't give them the opportunity to know whether it's going up or going down. So when you learn how they trade, you know when they're going up and then you know when they're going down. So you don't get caught up into this psychological warfare that they play on your minds. Okay. So that's hype for you. We want to see a move down and then a rejection. Okay. The last ones, and then we call it a day unless there's any questions. Cake. I think cake has come back down. Yesterday I was saying this is not how they move. We want to see them come back down and attack the low and then move higher. This is our mental stop loss. So we are currently at the level that cake should expand to the upside with a caution. Why? Because look at how price went up. That's the sign of greediness. This is what greed looks like. So be fearful when they are greedy. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Just accept, and this is the secret in trading, accept your position. This is where you're going to buy. This is where your mental stop loss is going to be, or your liquidation level is going to be. If it goes there, you're wrong. You move to the sidelines and then you wait. If you're right, it's going to go your way. It's very, very simple. Okay, there's no need to be emotional or attached to whether it's going to go up or down because the market goes one way or the other. So when you're in for up, just be in with your mental stop loss and then just leave it alone. Go and play PlayStation or go and do something. Go and have fun and then come back later. You come back either making money or losing money and you just accept it, right? So where we are, I expect price to move higher. and that's it. If we go here, we're wrong, and the price might come all the way down to now create a new buy, and then go up. It's still bullish, by the way. Our mental stop loss on the higher time frame, I think I've discussed it. This down candle here. Because as long as we're above it, we will go higher. It might not be from here, because again, I have not seen the signs of the fear in the market. Okay. This same thing, I think yesterday. Let's go to the H4. It's similar to the story that I just gave you on that one. So it's the same thing, nothing different. We need to move from where we are to go up there with our mental stop loss being for the time being. This is I would say day trade to short term. It's in between. You can shoot up in a day, or it can take maybe 2 or 3 days before it gets there. Right, so we're expecting price to reach for 38.58 unless we go below 35.12. We're still up for 38.58. That's E and S. Then the last one, I think I still have the chart on there. We talked about this, right? That they will have to come back for this low and then go higher. If you did miss the explanation, watch yesterday's session and then you understand what I mean. So we're still looking for higher prices. We might need to come down a little bit more to this level, or just even touch the 618 level, and then we aim for 0.8788. Okay, so as it stands, that's our upside objective. Our mental stop loss will be on 0. Let me get the actual level. So the actual level is 0.6636. That's our mental stop loss. We don't want to see price go below that. As long as we are above it, we are looking for a 0.8788 level. All right. So that's pretty much it from me, unless there's any question from our viewers.
IT, I'm speechless. This is just such a great session. So we actually did get an email from an institution, and it's funny because I guess they're watching, and they're asking if we could start covering XRP. So if you have
XRP.
time, we can either start tomorrow, or if you have time for today.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We can look at XRP. I was actually having a conversation with one of my private students yesterday about XRP, because he wants to get himself involved in crypto market, and he was saying that he's done his research, because one of the things about crypto market is you need to understand the fundamentals behind it, right? If you understand the fundamentals, and I think I've said this several times, I don't need to repeat myself, but I think we might have new viewers every single day. So if you want to trade cryptos, it's very simple. Understand the fundamentals behind the cryptocurrency that you're trying to trade. Don't just blindly trade anything, because there's so many of them. So you can do a fundamental analysis to understand what is the project behind the crypto. Now, when it comes to XRP, I think based on, I'm not a fundamental person, right? I just do a little bit reading about stuff and then that's it. I'm technical. I look at the charts and then I see what they're trying to do. But when I was reading about XRP, based on what I read, it's similar to what they call SWIFT, which is what the currencies, the fiat currencies, is being used to either do international trading, or I don't know. Most of you know much better than myself. So XRP is going to be like the SWIFT for the fiat currency. So when it comes to exchanging maybe one cryptocurrency to another, it will have to pass through an exchange, or whatever SWIFT is, and XRP is going to be the technology that will be used. Hence, is a very, very good crypto to have, right? Because it can shoot up in value. And the guy, my student, was also confirming something similar when he was doing his research. So then I told him, yes, if that's the case, then is a good cryptocurrency to actually hold. And I was telling him that I knew about that information back in 2022 when price was trading at this down candle. Yeah. But at the time, the XRP was having, I think, a lawsuit, or there was a case against them that was pending. And because of that, a lot of people were fearful to get themselves in because they didn't know whether they were going to win the case or lose the case. Hence, most people didn't actually get themselves in. And I think this is when the lawsuit came in. They actually finalized it around last year. I don't follow it too much, but I remember when it shot up, it came quickly down. Okay. And then all of a sudden we find ourselves where we are. So if it's going to be what I've read, then XRP will be one of the cryptos probably which can get near to, in terms of value, get near to Bitcoin. Okay, in terms of value, because it's going to be a technology that everyone is going to use, right? So if everyone is going to use it, then it's going to be something important in terms of token or crypto asset to hold. Okay, so that's the fundamental behind XRP. And where we are now, I think is extremely bullish. We are trading at all-time highs, so there's no way to actually measure where it's going to reach. Now we can do some projections with the down candle. And let me find a good one. So we can use this move down and project it to, so they're currently at the 127 level. So we can get to the 618 and then the 3 or 3.66, right? So upside objectives for Ripple will be 3.021. That'll be the next level. And then we will be reaching for 36652. Okay. It's extremely bullish. Now, with this candle, when they create a big move like this, most of the time, the next candle, I want to see them go higher. And that will create basically what I just taught everyone, the gap, indicating that, institutions actually came in. So I do not want to see any pullback in here. If it does, it should just be a small wick like this, something like this. Okay, and then we will have our gap and then expand up. If you drop down to the monthly, you can see this candle actually closed above it. Anytime, again, let's learn something small. Anytime the candle closes above the previous candle, like that, okay, when it does something like this, it's a sign they want to keep taking price higher. Again, location is important, it's relevant, but where the location is at right now, it doesn't mean price is going to come down yet. So the close above it means the next candle should be closing above the high. So that means this candle closing above this, that needs to close above that. And then subsequently, but at some point, remember, when it's going up, they are not buying. They've already bought in here. This is one way that they buy. When this is happening, when this was going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, that's when they were buying. It's called accumulation. So the buy is already done. The big players, they've already bought. They are not buying in this move. So if you're thinking you're going to buy, trust me, you'll be doing the wrong thing right now. So the best way is to wait for them to create a down candle and then close above it, which I can see on the weekly. These three down candles, there's a potential buy, and they've just closed above the first one. So with that, I would want to see price continue going up to this high. Okay, I would want to see price continue going up. And your mental stop loss or your liquidation level basically will be this low. You do not want to see them come back below that. So as long as we are above 1.8979 level, we should be reaching for 2.9107 and then subsequently reach for the projection that I did with the other time frames. And I like the way the weekly has closed above. It has created a pattern. So we have this low, we have this high, we have this low, and then we have this high. So that's a buying pattern on the weekly. So we want to see price continue going up. So that is the story on Ripple.
Fantastic. Amazing. Thank you so much. Um, I'm just processing all the information from this live session. I've taken so many notes and yeah, mind blown.
Price is fun. When you understand price, it's so interesting. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still speechless, man. Like honestly, great job. You're just like you're a legend, man. Like and same with SP DOS. Like this is honestly like the coolest thing ever, you know?
Yeah. Our members have no idea where we are taking them. And when we start adding the psychological stuff to it, that's going to
Yeah,
be another it's going to be another level because I've actually talked to my mentor, the my mentor that actually teaches me about this crazy stuff. He will be coming on board as well to come and help most of us to dive deep into the mind because
amazing.
he's been doing it for I don't know all his life and is willing to come and help us with the mindset stuff. It goes beyond mindset, trust me. It goes beyond mindset. So he's willing to come and also share that psychological aspect. And like I said, it's mind blowing. You're going to hear things that you've never heard. You will never hear it anywhere either.
I'm very excited for that. That's gonna be awesome.
So yeah, if you're not part of the community, you should get yourself part of it because once we move into the portal, most of this stuff, because I'm trying to hold back. I'm always
Yeah.
trying to hold back teaching, but I can't help it. Right. So you can see anytime I'm doing the session, I have to teach.
Yeah.
But there's more to it. So all the deep stuff will be taught on the portal. So once the portal is ready, anyone that's interested should join and they'll have an amazing time with us.
What's cool as well is we also have all the content there from before, right? So from like 2016 to 2023, it's all there. It's all in there. So as soon as it's opened up, you'll have access to that. You can search through it. And of course, our LLMs are going to be available to help you find things. Yeah, just super excited for all this. It's literally just what day 7 of the year uh, just started, and yeah, just stay the course and remember that the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. The very important quote, Larry Williams initially, and then Mr. Morgan, who used to do live sessions with us. He's doing some amazing things now and is busy to join. But yeah, just incredible person. Looking forward to someday having him come back on, maybe even just for an interview or something like that. That'd be cool. Um, but yeah, as IT mentioned, the Larry Williams book, How to Become a Millionaire Trading Commodities. I haven't picked it up. First time I'm hearing about it. So thank you for that. I'm going to get my hands on that right away. Really appreciate the knowledge drop. Um, what's next? So we're going to be doing the we're going to be summing this up with the ForexLens AI um I guess ForexLens. Pardon me. I'm still recovering from the knowledge and it has a psychological impact on me sometimes because it's like my brain just goes way too fast in one direction. But the unified market narrative. So we'll be feeding that through and posting it right after this session. It's getting faster and faster. There's only so many GPUs that we have access to right now, but we're expanding that. Um, and of course, partnering with some companies that have hardware, so that should get quicker and quicker. Also working on the front end website that with the roadmap, very precise roadmap. We're trying to be as realistic as possible with timelines and milestones, especially we're used to the agile mindset with development. So we understand that certain things happen in different time frames and have to be shifted. But so we're doing our best to make sure that we give you the most raw, the most accurate projection of where and how we're going to be doing things and releasing things in terms of phases and milestones. And from a business perspective as well, from a tokenomics perspective, and from a regulatory perspective. We're holding meetings with our lawyers and everything, making sure that we're compliant with everything that we're doing. And of course, things are constantly developing with regulations as well. Things are moving in a positive direction. So we're also looking forward to being able to expand on the tokenomics as the days and weeks and months and years go on. Um, yeah, so 11 a.m. EST and just under just over 1.5 hours from now, SP DOS will be coming back online to do New York session part two. At this point, we'll be able to see how the Dow is doing, this SPX, NASDAQ, all that good stuff. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, and I hope you found we all hope you find value in these sessions and continue to find value in these sessions. Uh, we will be locking them down to holders in the portal once that's live, but they will be we'll be definitely releasing some content out for people to be able to learn, especially for newer traders. Um, and yeah, we're definitely used to doing that. We like to educate. That's our main goal. So some definitely not everything is getting locked down, but uh, the most important stuff, especially the stuff that we're doing through the unified market narrative, as well as the actual ForexLens AI that does the time series analysis and predictions. Those are going to be available to holders only. And of course, Tetsuo holders get that access as well. So tune in for 11 a.m. EST with SP DOS and IT. Thank you so much for everything. You're an absolute. I just want to say you're an absolute god. And it's a pleasure to be doing this with you for so many years, and looking forward to so many more years together.
It's my pleasure. We all come together for a reason, and everyone here is here for a reason. Nothing happens by accident, right? Nothing is a coincidence. So we're all here because the audience needs us, and we've come together to basically give what they need. Because I think, again, you're gonna learn so many stuff. It's them thinking, wanting to do this. That's why we came together to come and help them.
I
It's
couldn't
crazy.
agree more. That's amazing. Yeah, the quantum mindset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Chachki, by the way.
Prepare for your mind to be blown away. You're going to go to different levels of understanding, different levels of being, different levels of actually living, because you're going to live in a different dimension. Even though you are here on Earth, but you be living in a different dimension still here.
Wow, yeah. Well, yeah, why don't we end on that positive note, as always. And thanks so much once again. See you at 11 a.m. EST.
All right. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.